Hey everybody, this is Diesel and this is Diesel After Dark. I've been trying to explain Diesel After Dark to a few people, and it's kind of hard for me to translate, but I'm your dirty-minded fitness friend, basically.
Hey, it's your girl Diesel here, and this is Diesel After Dark. I want to thank you for joining me for today's episode. This is our second episode, and today we're going to actually talk about something, not just me. Today we're talking about water, lubrication, hydration, H2O. In just about every form I could think of, I tried to find something related to it for you guys. We're going to start with why it's important to drink water. Why is it important to drink water? Because it's vital to our health. It plays a key role in our body's functions, including bringing nutrients to cells, getting rid of waste, protecting joints and organs, and maintaining your body temperature. I know there are some people like, I don't drink water because I hate the way it tastes. It tastes gross. It's boring. It's a lot of everything except for good. But outside of the taste and that, listen here, if you don't like water, you might not be doing it right. I know that sounds crazy, but there's a very real possibility that your water needs to be colder or maybe even warmer. Now, how you drink your water is totally up to you. Now, some people like it warm or room temperature, and some people like it cold, and some people are like me and like it ice cold. Now, there is at least one advocate for each level of water temperature that will tell you that their particular preference is best for you and how all the other ones are no bueno. But in reality, it's all a personal preference. As long as you are consuming the water, you're fucking winning, okay? Don't focus so much on what the temperature is. Just consume it. One thing in particular, before we even start talking about temperatures, is you can eat your water. Did you know that? I don't know who knew that, but some of you know that. You can eat your water. You can eat fruits, veggies, lettuce, bell peppers, cucumbers, grapefruit, oranges, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew. There's a pretty decent list of fruits and veggies that you can eat that will kind of compensate for that water you're not drinking. So if you're not into drinking water, no fear, you can still get your recommended water intake by eating it. So if you love to snack and you're not so big on drinking the water, you can eat it. Okay? But if you are a water drinker and you are one of those people who believes that drinking water just doesn't work for you, you might not be doing it right either. And I know that's hard to hear because you're going to say, but all I do is drink water. But is that really all you do? And how much water are you drinking? Because something tells me if water's not working for you, you're drinking a couple bottles, or you're at least drinking less than you should be. So if you feel like all you do is drink water and the water is not working for you, add some of those foods that I just gave you and see if that helps. If it's not sending you to the bathroom by the end of that first week, it's safe to say you're not drinking enough water. If you drink water, start with 2 glasses in the morning when you wake up, and as your day goes on, don't, if water is what you drink, I was about to say don't don't drink anything else. But I'm not your mother. I'm not here to tell you how to do it. Everybody's journey is different. You do what feels right for you on your journey. I'm going to do what feels right for me on my journey. But I'm not going to tell you anything I haven't done myself. And I can say firsthand, when you're drinking the right amount of water, which is honestly, I wish I could tell you what the right amount is, but the right amount of water depends on your personal weight and your activity levels. But that requires you to be honest with yourself. So when I say your weight, if you go off the weight that's on your driver's license, which most people I know is not their actual weight, then you might as well just stop right now because you're not being honest with yourself. So I can't imagine too many things working for you. In this journey, on this journey, no matter where you are on your personal fitness journey, if you are not honest with yourself about what you're going to do, what you're capable of doing, then it's all just a waste and you're faking it. And I probably won't be able to be of any assistance to you, which makes me sad, but not as sad as the idea of you out here lying to yourself. Drinking water regularly, like, it's good for you, not just because people say it is, but because your muscles need it, your organs need it, your heart especially. All your organs and muscles need you to drink water. That's why your body is made up of so much of it, because it's important to your daily performance and function. But it does more than that. Sorry about that pause. It does more than that. If we're looking at it from, I'm gonna say, a vain perspective, but it's not intentional. So if that offends you, my bad. I'm not here trying to offend you, but I'm gonna use the words that come to me. It has physical benefits like that. I say vain because they're appearance based. They're not internal, that for only you. They're outward appearance based, and it's not hard to see. So for your face, it tightens your skin. It helps fight wrinkles, reduces puffiness. It helps detox your body, so it helps you minimize acne and other things like that. It also helps regulate your body temperature and adds lubrication, or assists your body in lubricating and cushioning your joints. Also leaves your... Oh, what else does it do? It also, I'm sorry, gives you a healthier heart, minimizes the amount of kidney stones you have, which predominantly come from drinking a lot of sugary drinks like Pepsi, which I love. It's a lot. I've got a list. It's like 18 things on this list, and I'm going to post it on Diesel After Dark's podcasts on Instagram and Facebook for you guys, because I can't think of everything right now off the top of my cranium, but water benefits you in so many ways outside of purely weight loss. It's not just to lose weight and even have clear skin. Your body is made up of it. It's important. It's non-negotiable. Honestly, it's a non-negotiable need that your body requires. And it's fine if you're not into drinking it. It's cool if you don't believe it's working for you. But again, if it's not working for you, it's probably because you're not doing it properly. After a few days of drinking water from sunup to sundown, if that's all I'm drinking, you absolutely are spending your entire day running back and forth to the bathroom. And for me as a woman, that's beneficial because, that's another benefit. Drinking water also It's great for your libido and for strengthening your muscles. You know, like how? Okay. When you have to go to the bathroom, ladies, what do? You got to squeeze. Like when you do your Kegel exercises, right? So, what is this extra benefit I've just silver lined for you? It's also a muscle strengthening exercise. So, drinking your water equals for women not just a better pH balance down there, but also stronger muscles because it's absolutely going to send you back and forth to the bathroom to get rid of that, shed that water weight, and flush out all those meals you've got packed up in your intestines. That sounds gross when I put it out there like that, but at the end of the day, who cares? You got to pick. Would you rather have the discomfort of all of it, or would you rather the water work or not work? Me personally, I would rather the water work. But yeah, I know nobody wants to talk about poop or Kegels. I don't know. Some people might like talking about Kegels, but it's an honest benefit to drinking water properly. When you are properly hydrated, your body is going to detox and it's going to flush out all of that extra shit that you're not using. So that's why when people, I don't know, I know some people, when they try to lose weight, they take laxatives and water pills to flush their system. Please save yourself the money of laxatives and water pills and just drink the damn water. Or eat it. Buy some watermelon, buy some grapefruit, buy grapes, apples, oranges. Eat fruit salad for the next week and a half. I don't care. There are people who do the watermelon diet where they just eat and or drink water and or watermelon. Do that. Do that. There's so many options of things that you can do to try and make sure you get your daily amount of water. And unfortunately, there's not even a set method on how to find out what your set amount of water is, but we at least have a base and a place to start. So in doing my research for it, I found 2 different alternatives to figuring out how much water you need, and they are not the same. The only thing they have in common is it starts with your weight right now. Whatever your body weight is right now, cut that in half, and whatever that half is, that's your base. That's where you start. That's one theory. The other theory is take that weight, your weight, multiply that number by 67% or 2/3, and whatever number you get, which probably won't be the same number. More than likely it won't be. If it is, my mind is blown and somebody needs to show me, because when I did it, I definitely got 2 different numbers. And not only do you get 2 different numbers, but you also have to add 12 ounces for every 30 minutes of physical fitness that you are involved in. And physical fitness can be anything. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes in the gym. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes jogging, walking. It can literally 30 minutes playing with the kid counts as physical activity. 30 minutes rolling around with your lover counts as physical activity. Hell, technically anything that you do that requires you to move, taking the stairs, physical activity. You see what I'm saying? So I don't even know how you go about the day adding on ounces, but I guess you just do your best. What I would suggest is start with whichever method you want to use to come up with your baseline. You should do it. It's clear that when coming up with a base for how much water you should drink, it starts with at least half of your own weight. So start there. That's what I would suggest. I would suggest you start with drinking at least half of your own body weight in ounces, and then for every 30 minutes of activity, add 12 ounces. Or, I'm not doing that. Let me rephrase. Then after you've had all of that, add, every time you get thirsty, drink another 8 to 12 ounces. Basically, I personally can't, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to be like, oh, let me add this up. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to be like, oh, let me stop and add up how much more water I need to drink before I go to bed. I'm going to drink whatever it is I've allotted myself, and I'm going to continue to drink water until I either hit my deadline for the day, as far as this is how long I'm going to stay up and I'm going to stop eating and drinking anything at this point before I go to sleep. Or I just keep going. But that's what I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing, basically. I start with half my body weight as my baseline, which for me is 125 ounces. And then once I've hit that, I kind of just quit counting and I just drink the water as I need it. And as long as I'm active in the day, I need it. So I honestly never worry. I just keep filling up my container until it's time to go to bed. But I definitely see a difference from when I drink my water consistently like I'm supposed to, versus days where I only have maybe 2 or 3 bottles of water. If I go through a day and I only have 2 or 3 bottles of water, regardless of whatever else I drink, I definitely go to the bathroom a lot less, which I kind of sometimes do on purpose because I get sick and tired of going to the bathroom. I'm not going to lie to you. Flushing your system, detoxing, it sounds amazing until you actually start doing it. Then the shit is for the birds. Literally and figuratively. You get tired of going to the bathroom. You feel like you go to the bathroom more than a pregnant lady with twins sitting on their bladder. But ultimately, it's beneficial. The water weight that you hold, it drops off really quick. That's usually the first thing to go. And that's, who doesn't want that? Especially if you're fresh into a workout program, or you just started, or whatever the case. If you've hit a plateau and you haven't been drinking your water regularly, starting off with your half your body weight, if you're drinking it like you're supposed to, I feel like it'll get you over that plateau and back on your weight loss track. If you're already doing that, then add something else. Drink or add some of those fruits. If you feel like you're already doing everything you can in that regard, why don't you add some fruits to that, veggies, and see if that does anything for you. I just lost my train of thought. Good Googa Mooga. Oh. So, but don't go crazy. And I say start at your baseline, because if you drink too much water, then you're at risk of water intoxication, which is just as bad as dehydrating yourself. Just like when you dehydrate yourself, your organs and your muscles cramp and your organs can start to fail, because your body is made up of mostly water. So if you are lacking in that, then your organs can't perform properly. The same is said for if you drink too much. If you drink too much, it's not any better, because now your body is too diluted. The system is too diluted. So now you're missing electrolytes and sodium that your body needs to function. Either way, too much of either, it could be fatal. So we want to avoid this by trying to gauge it and keep an eye out. One surefire trick that I've learned to kind of gauge what your water levels are is your urine. I know. This might just be called the bathroom segment, because I feel like we're about to talk about a lot of private stuff. But, it's a safe place. We can do that. Yeah. It's your urine. So when you're dehydrated, your urine the pee is dark. It's way darker and it's got a strong ass smell. Like, undeniably, like, oh my God, is that me? Okay. I made a face like like you could say me. But yeah, the smell is strong and the color is dark. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Y'all know that rustic dark yellow. No, y'all don't know. If you don't know, we'll bless you. If you do know, that right there is the sign that you need to drink more water. I feel like we all know that. And if we don't, now you do know, so do better because you have no excuse. When you're drinking too much water, it's clear. Not light, it's clear. It looks like water. There's no color whatsoever, and that's no bueno. So if you are peeing clear water into the toilet, and please don't tell me none of y'all are looking, because I can't accept that as adults. But if it's clear, you're overhydrated and you're in danger. So back up a little bit, ease off, just a smidge. Wait until you get thirsty again. Let's feel the dry mouth before you put any more liquids in your body. Just take a break. It's okay. When in doubt, just don't forget, check the toilet. Period. Right? Okay. Now that we've covered that, let's move on. Good gravy. Now that, since we're talking about foods, some of those foods that I listed, I said since we're talking about foods, we were just talking about the bathroom. Okay. In checking, now I did say this. Hold up. My brain is moving faster than me today. That's probably going to be my whole life story right there. So I'm aware that there are people out here, and I'm not judging you, who I'm going to say pretend or claim to not look into the toilet, and that I feel like as an adult, that's outrageous. If you don't know what's coming out of you or what your privates look like or any of that, I learned this in health class in high school. But if you don't know what it looks like, you're not looking at it, how do you know what something's wrong? Your urine, your stool, that's a surefire way to let you know if something is off inside your body. So please don't be shy about it. I feel the same way about private parts. I feel like everybody should know what their privates are looking like. Ladies, you should know. I personally feel like, as an individual who cares about their personal well-being, you should have no problem exploring your body and looking at it from every angle. Like, what if there's something wrong with your anus? If you're not willing to bend over, spread your cheeks, and look at that, then how you gonna know? And we live in a world where now you can literally set the timer, spread them, take a picture, look at it, examine it, and delete it. It don't have to be nothing crazy. Don't have to be nothing extra freak nasty. But you should definitely know. You should know what your anus looks like. You should know what your taint is looking like, fellas. You should know what your gooch is looking like, fellas. Ladies, you should know what all of your goodies are looking like down there. So when something is wrong, you'll know it. It's all the same. Don't be scared to look at it. Don't be scared to look back in the toilet and see what you done left. Besides, if you don't look back at the toilet when you go to flush it, how do you know if you left something on the toilet or around the toilet that you don't want other people to see? I'm just saying. You gotta protect yourself, right? And you are the first line of defense for your body. And if you don't educate yourself on what your body looks like healthy and how your body functions when it's healthy, then how can you protect yourself from getting sick? How can you protect yourself from any of these germs and infections. It's the weather is starting to change. We are easing into what I call cuddle buddy season, right? It's getting winter. It's about to start getting cold. When it starts to get cold, everybody spends most of their time in the house with their special somebody or their roster. However you got it set up. Either you got that one somebody or you got a roster of people that you plan to spend your winter months with. But just like you go protect yourself when you spend time with those people, hopefully with condoms and other contraceptives to keep you safe from STIs or STDs and babies. Ugh, I know babies aren't something you need to be saved from, but your pocketbook need to be saved from them. So come on now, stop playing. Just like you take the necessary precautions to make sure you take care of yourself sexually, you got to do the same for the rest of you. You can't be extra particular and be like, oh, let me wear. I'm not saying don't wear condoms first and foremost, because that's exactly where my example. Dude, okay, here you go. Better example. That's like getting oral from somebody without any kind of protection. Ladies, no dental dam. Men, no condoms. But then you turn around and put the condom on so y'all can have sex. Whether it's a female condom or a male condom. Come on now. You're not going to do that to yourself, I would hope. So let's not treat the rest of us like that. You have to protect yourself every day, all the time. Not just when we're doing shit like having sex. Every time we leave the house, when we go to work, we're surrounded by people who do all kinds of disgusting ass shit when we not looking. That's why when you go to the bathroom, wash your hands is not for everybody else. It's for you. I know that sounds crazy, but it's for you. And the fact that people have to put signs up on the doors to say, please wash your hands before returning to work. Dude, it's for you. It's not for anybody else. I mean, it benefits everybody else, but it's for you. Because everything you touch, you're going to turn around and go get something to eat, and you go fuck around and kill yourself. With all these weird things out here. Like, there is an infection called Vibrio vulnificus, right? It's a infection that you get from raw seafood, the drippings from raw seafood, the juices from raw seafood, or from playing in open water or brackish water. Who the fuck knows what brackish water is? I know some of y'all do. I did not. And I'm unashamed to say that. I did not know what it was. It's when the river and ocean. It's how I said it. When river water and ocean water meet, that's called brackish water. Not to imply that everybody doesn't know that, but I know I did not know that, so I'm going to share it. I'm gonna try to share it anyway, because if I don't know it, it's not in my nature to assume what anybody knows. So, okay, let me get back to this infection, because we're talking about protection. So this infection, it gets into an open wound from playing with seafood, not washing your hands after playing with seafood, and you got an open cut. What else did I say? The juices, the drippings, any of that stuff, playing in the water. This is a flesh-eating disease. Okay, so it's a flesh-eating disease that you can get from having contact with raw or uncooked seafood. And I say uncooked because if it's in the ocean, it's uncooked. So when I say uncooked, that's what I mean for the purpose of this conversation. When some of that juices, the water gets into an open wound, now we got problems, and you are at risk of losing a limb, ending up in intensive care, or you could even die from it. And the signs that you have it are so fucking vague, you would never know until it was too late, which makes sense, because when I was reading about it, it says 1 in 5 people who get it die from it. But the The signs and the symptoms of it, they're super hella vague, and you almost are never gonna know. Never gonna know. I'm trying to see if I can find it now. I had it, and I can't seem to find it. But it's very similar to any other infection. Warm, red, inflamed. It might, shit like that. It's it's I don't want to say it like this, but almost everything is kind of like vague as fuck, like COVID, where it all gives signs of the flu or a regular common infection, like something not life threatening. But the difference is it can fucking kill you. And the fact that it's so nonchalant and so vague, that scares the shit out of me on a massive level. So for those of you who live in warmer climates where you have the option of playing open water on a regular basis, please do a body check before you climb into the water. And if you've got wounds, scabs that are in the process of becoming scabs, put on liquid Band-Aid or waterproof Band-Aids, whatever will protect you and in some regard protect the fish. Because what I don't want your Band-Aid to come off while you're playing in the water, if you decide to play in the water. And what I also don't want the fish to choke on it. I might eat that fish one day. And what I don't want is your Band-Aid in my food. But seriously, while we are on the subject of infections and germs, let's go ahead and cover some foods you can eat to help boost your immune system during these cooler months. We are getting into the fall and winter seasons, and a lot of people get sick now. Me, personally, I'm all year round. Every time the seasons change, I get sick. But I guess this applies to all of us. It doesn't matter if you're a seasonal sick person or an every season sicker or sickie. So I've got a list of 11 foods that the Cleveland Clinic says you can eat to help boost your immune system. Fatty fish like tuna, herring, mackerel, salmon, sardines, trout. Citrus fruits like grapefruits, oranges, lemons, limes, kumquats. Garlic, ginger, turmeric, broccoli. Bell peppers, spinach, yogurt. Almonds, sunflower seeds. I also have another list that would add chicken and turkey along with shellfish like lobster, mussels, clams. Though they are my other list also adds kiwi. Long story short, I guess nobody should really need a list. We all know fruits and veggies are our friend. So, I hope you're eating them. That shit scared the hell out of me. The CDC put out a warning on Labor Day about this particular infection, Vibrio vulnificus, which is how it caught my attention to start with. And apparently how we evolved or kind of migrated to why it's important and other infections you need to protect yourself from. If you are looking for a new at-home workout to add to your routine, duck walks and or crab walks into your home workout. I don't know if you want to do it out in public. Some people don't like looking silly out in public, and some workouts, they just look silly. They work stuff. They work joints and muscles, but it doesn't make them look any less silly. And some people are uncomfortable with that. They don't like to look silly in public. Me, personally, I don't really give a shit. I do goofy shit like skip across the street for my own personal kicks and giggles. But if you're one of those who does not like to feel silly or embarrass themselves in front of others, you can do it at home. And you and your significant other can do it, or your lover, or your cuddle buddy. You can make a race. Make it a race. Let's race across the living room. Who can make it to the front door and back doing duck walks or crab walks? Crab walks are, if you have to pick between the two, I'd say pick a crab walk. If you can do it, it's a full body workout. It works your legs, your thighs, your butt, your back, your stomach, your pecs, and your arms. I mean, what more can you ask for? 7 minutes. If you can do that for 7 minutes or whatever, however long the race goes, you can pick a time, whatever time works for you. If I am your trainer, I would suggest starting off with a few laps. See how many steps you can get or how many steps you can take before it's too much for you. Once you reach the point of pain, I tell my clients to stop. I don't want to push anybody past their limits. First, I want to help you learn your limits. So if you're going to try it, give it a shot. I'm going to try it. I have not tried it yet, but I am going to try it. If you're going to try it, once you feel the pain or that discomfort, just stop. Let the burning and the sensation die down, and if you want to try it again, then do so. But first, before you can push yourself past your limits, you got to learn your limits. And staying within your current limits helps you train your muscles so that once we start pushing past it, it doesn't send your muscles into shock and leave you broken up and destroyed the next day. I find that falling in love with fitness is a little bit easier when you feel the love. When you can wake up the next day and you feel good. Not you feel like every step hurts, like you just got your whole body tattooed and you suffering from muscle ache. That makes you want to come back less. And I need you to come back more. If you have time this week, give those crab walks a shot and see if they do anything for you. Please share one high or low from your week and how it affected you mentally and how you overcame the situation or how you dealt with the situation. You may not have had to overcome it. With that, you know what that means? I got a freaking story for you. So, my mental health week or check, it's not even about me, really. My high of the week was also my low of the week. So, my low, I lost my shit and I went completely nuts at work on my supervisor. Like, it was fuck this, fuck that, I don't give a fuck, I'm ready to walk off type energy. And that for me was a low because I knew when I walked into the room, I knew that he was on 10. And instead of ignoring it, I fed into it. But I had, in my defense, if there is such, I'm not even going to say in my defense, and being honest with myself, I saw it. I heard it when it was happening, and I knew I should have stopped, but I couldn't. It was already too far gone. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly feel like I'm slow to anger, but when you intentionally do things, when you disrespect me, because what he did was intentional and it was disrespectful. I had no response time. I didn't have any time to, like, take a breath. I probably did have the time, but I did not take that breath. So I lost my shit, and I lost my shit in front of everybody. And that was a low for me because I worked hard to get to the point where little petty shit like that tends to roll off my back, and I'll just overlook it and laugh like I don't even realize that you trying to throw shade or you trying to get a rise out of me, because I know that that's going to get a rise out of you. But I had no time to be strategic about it, and that was a low for me. The high for me was the support that I got from the people closest to me, who reminded me that I'm better than that, and not to beat myself up for my shortcoming as far as, falling into the whole ordeal or the whole situation anyway, but they convinced me, you got to forgive yourself for letting it happen, but also remember that you're better than that, and that's just about them. It's not about you. And I needed that, and that brought me down so quick and so fast, and it touched me in such a massive way, because I'm not going to say I don't. I absolutely have that, but for a long time I didn't have people like that in my corner who would remind me who I am and be that support system. And so that was a high for me, to have people in my corner that I could lean on and who could speak life into me when I felt like I was at a low. And I know that doesn't seem like a massive low, but real talk, I could have lost my job that day. So that was a low for me. And honestly, I didn't give any shits. I didn't care that day. My fuck it was gone. Or it was high. My fuck it was high. My fucks to give were gone. But that was a high for me, to have people in my corner. And some of them were family, but they weren't all family. And up until the past, maybe 3-4 years, I really didn't have that. I was really out here being my own cheerleader, and I'm still my own cheerleader. And sometimes we have to have that. In my growth, I ended up letting go of a lot of friends and trying to grow and evolve and become a better person. And in doing so, I realized during my growth that I didn't have people in my circle that were that were capable of providing me the same support that I was providing. And I had to walk away from those people because they were taking and draining everything that I had and giving me nothing in return except for, sorry to hear that I can't help you. And so having people in my corner who can give me the same amount of support, or the same kind of support that they require that I give them, it's a beautiful thing. And that was a high for me, and it gave me a new sense of peace. Like, I'm not gonna say a new sense of peace, a new variation of it. And I'm finding peace in a lot of things that I hadn't always been able to find peace in. So that was my mental health check of the week. The people closest to me showing me that I could lean on them and I could count on them to speak life back into me when I felt drained and defeated, and who forgave me and showed me that, or talked me down and gave me permission to forgive myself, which sometimes is hard to do. Sometimes, we are our biggest critics and our worst critics, and nobody's harder on me than me. Nobody's harder on you than you. And sometimes you need that. You need people to do that. So that's what I'm going to do for you today. Whatever your high, your low is, whatever your low of the week is or was, just remember that in that moment you did the absolute best that you could with what you had available to you. And regardless of how it worked out, whether it worked out in your favor or not, you did your very best. And you should be proud of that. If it was not an opportunity, then it was a lesson. And all you have to do is sit back and look at it. Look at what you did, what was done, how you did it. I don't know. Don't listen to that last part. We're going to cut that out. With that being said, it is time to bring this to a close. Thank you for your time. I enjoyed our conversation. I hope you come back and join me for the next one. I'm your host, Diesel, and this is Diesel After Dark.